or in rehab. He really has had more than his fair share of injuries, and that is an understatement. Well, here is the 22-year-old who made such an impression out of Poland, and Poland doesn't produce too many great tennis players, but he's on the way to becoming one. Jerzy Janowicz.
We saw you using your phone a lot in between training, so you must love texting and emailing?
I was talking with some friends on Facebook a little bit. This was my first practice, so coach let me to do it. Otherwise, I would never use my phone during the practice.
Nice and relaxed. Ranked at 26th in the world. And for a 22-year-old, already 655,000 in the bank, thanks to results. I'm sure he's got plenty more with endorsements and sponsorship, and more to come for the very tall young man out of Poland. Justin Gimmelstob with me in commentary for this one, and you know a fair bit about Brian Baker. Indeed, I'm sure you know a fair bit about both men. This promises to be a most intriguing matchup.
Yeah, it's a very unique matchup. On one hand, you have the young player who had that big breakthrough in the Masters 1000 event in Bercy. On the other hand, you have a man who's actually quite inexperienced at this level as well because of that 6-year hiatus in Brian Baker. He had such an incredible story. Literally came from no ranking, started for the futures, qualified in Nice, got to the final. Be a fun matchup. Brian Baker has an excellent backhand return. And while Janowicz had that breakthrough in Bercy, these are the exact opposite type of conditions. So many variables here. The wind. Playing indoor tennis really suits Janowicz's game. He's going to be tested here. The big serve, he has very flat ground strokes, not as much margin. This would be a good indication of how evolved he is, and a good indicator of what type of success he could have on a week in and week out basis on the ATP World Tour.
One of the taller men on tour in the old parlance, 6'8". And as you're just hearing from our court announcer here at the ASB Tennis Arena, Denis Katsanos introducing the players.
2 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our match umpire from España, Felix Maralba.
Well, for the first time today, we're seeing two players in first-time matchups against each other here on centre court. It's not too often that Brian Baker would be dwarfed in a matchup, but he is tonight. And you have to think, Justin, that the headspace for a guy like Brian Baker is just that there's nothing to lose. After 6 years of heartache, he must just be enjoying every moment that he is on tour, out there hitting balls.
He's dealing with his own level of recalibration of his expectations. After having all that success, he struggled a little bit after Wimbledon, getting to the 4th round. The expectations changed so significantly. Now he's straight into so many ATP World Tour events. He's a very thoughtful, intelligent young man. He plays high percentage tennis. He knows his game. When he wasn't on the tour, he started coaching, and by virtue of that, really started understanding the sport more. And then when he came back, better understood how to use his strengths.
This match will be played the best of 3 tiebreak sets.
Well, he graduated top of his class out of high school. His dad, Steve, is a lawyer. His mother is a music teacher, Jackie. So I would imagine that he is very much well schooled, not just in tennis, but in all things academic and life generally. You tend to learn a few things, don't you, with the tough times. The sun's gone. And the rugs are out at the ASB Tennis Arena.
You're going to see a tremendous contrast in both style and personality out here. Brian Baker is very focused, very controlled. Janowicz, you're going to see a lot of erratic play, both physically, tactically, but also emotionally, just in the warm-up, talking and jawing with his coach and box, mocking the wind and some huge misses that he's had even in the warm-up, whereas Baker has been solely focused.
Brian Baker to serve.
Plays with a lot of intensity, point in and point out. This will be a very interesting match. Baker has an excellent shot at the upset here tonight.
Play.
Already, Janowicz is looking at the court surface, but I'm sure that is the wind at play early in this match.
And just out of nowhere, just a drop shot just off the second shot. Once again, just bizarre shot selection.
Love.
Baker worked a bit with Todd Martin, the former American world number 4, US Open finalist, Australian Open finalist during the off-season. That's a player he's compared to a bit in the way that he constructs points, excellent two-handed backhand. Similar style, so seemingly a good matchup.
Good start from the American.
First game.
That forehand from Baker, that's the part of his game that's really improved the most. When he first played on tour, as a liability, and now because of the rackets and the string, the ability to get more margin and be able to feel more confidence with that racket acceleration, has been a real difference in this second go around of his career.
Janowicz to serve.
Drop shot again, and this time Baker was well stranded behind the baseline.
It's all about when you use the drop shot. You got to use it when you're in a position of offense, so your opponent has to respect your options. When you're short in the court with a big forehand like that, Baker was bracing for the big shot.
Love.
Great return, stepping in on the second serve, and already you sense this is a key aspect of this battle.
One of the strengths of Baker's game is the second serve return. Nice short compact swing, moves to it on an angle.
30 all.
And as big as Janowicz's serve is, he's very prone to the double fault. He goes for a lot. He loses rhythm a little bit. In these windy conditions, you're going to see a lot of double faults from this tall Polish man.
Faults.
Overrule from the chair, right in front of the umpire.
Thirty, 40. .220 kilometers an hour.
And Baker did such a nice job fighting it off. Disappointed there that he couldn't extend the point wide on the forehand side. Baker's backhand return is an elite shot at any level.
Net for service.
Again, great return right at the feet of the 6'8" pole, and he couldn't get down.
Nice clean return once again, shortening it up, absorbing the pace, getting it back deep.
Gives.
Good quick hands this time.
Advantage, Janowicz.
Does a nice job keeping the racket in front of him. Big tall guy cuts off the angle. Bit like a hockey goalie right there. Keep your body and racket in front of the action.
Again, very good depth by the American, just keeping Janowicz right back on that baseline.
Yeah, Janowicz has a very hard and flat forehand. Not a lot of margin. Very old school Eastern forehand grip. You could catch him late there, and Baker's done it throughout these first two games.